Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Power BI related dashboard tutorial by Team Slidescope. In this part, we are learning about creating this bank customers churn analysis dashboard. Basically, we are trying to find out different type of reasons for a customer's churn from bank, like the reasons why they might leave a bank and choose something else. Here we have different type of parameters like how many of them have exited by different geography, number of customers exited, uh, in total exited by count by gender. We have some filters over here. We have the average age, the average balance that they have, average credit score, average tenure for which they keep an account in a bank, what is their average estimated salary. Here we have some interesting charts like distribution of age and exit status uh, by customers, so where you will be able to see what age pins can be there which are responsible for customers leaving the bank, so we may do something about it. Here is count of customers by balance and exited, so you will also learn how to create these bins, what type of logic we will put to create these bins. Everything will be discussed in this particular project. So let's get started with it. So the dataset that we are going to use in this project is this churn modeling dataset or bank customers churn dataset, where we have columns like customer ID, their surname, their credit score, their geography, gender, age, tenure, balance, etc. So here I have simply created, first of all, this is the Kaggle URL from where you can get the dataset, and explanation of the columns is like this. You have row number, customer ID, a unique ID assigned to each customer, surname, credit score, a numerical score representing the customer's credit worthiness. Higher score indicates better credit history. Geography is their country information. Then gender is male or female. Age is given. Their tenure, the number of years the customer has been with the bank. Their balance, the current balance in customer's account. Number of products, the number of bank products the customer is using. Example can be saving account, credit card, etc. So here you can see number of products, whether this person has card, yes or no, so it is given as 1 or 0. Is active member, 1 or 0, and their estimated salary and exited. So exited is the target variable, whether the customer has churned. 1 is equal to yes or no, which we have to analyze. And insights for Power BI dashboard, if you want to go with any kind of dashboard, will be customer segmentation, that we can group customers based on credit score, balance and age. We can do churn analysis, compare demographics, example age, gender and country of customers who churn versus who stay. And product usage, analyze how different number of products affect churn rates and customer engagements, whether it, study the impact of IsActiveMember and HasCrCard on churn. So now let's start analyzing. We will open Power BI desktop, and since the file that we have downloaded from Kaggle is a CSV file, so we will simply load that file here. You simply have to click on get data and text CSV. From here we'll connect the file called churnmodeling.csv and open. Make sure your rows and their headers are properly matched. If yes, click load and this will load the table. This is something that we have done in various other projects. Now we have the data here. First thing, we will create a text box and we will simply name our project like whatever we are trying to do in this dashboard. So we will write bank customer churn analysis. Let me write it like that. Churn analysis dashboard. We will use the font size around 32. You can also use 28. Color we will select like this. If you want to go with a specific theme, you can go to view and select a particular theme for you. I will not do that. What I'm going to do here in view, I will simply click here and go to customize your current theme. From here I will simply go to the page setting, page background, and I will select ed the, or we can select FO, whatever, F0 E8, some color like this which is a little darker than white. And apply. And one thing I forgot is we have to reduce the transparency also. So we'll reduce the transparency and apply. So now you will see a shadow like structure is already created. So this is bank customer churn analysis. Now what we will do, we will use at least this width, so that if we have to use any filters, we will use them in the sidebar. And this is something where we can put, you know, an icon over here representing that we are analyzing something of financial value. So you can go to insert tab. From here you can select image. Here I have some assets, so I will use this particular asset. You can use any one of them. I'm just using this just to make sure that everything appears properly. So I will put it here and just increase its size. Now here we will use this particular area for, first of all, we can give up a space here. We will use this particular area to create a sidebar. To create sidebar, click shape and click on this rectangular shape. And on the rectangular shape, we will adjust its width like this, keeping just a little gap between both of them. And for this shape also, we will select the, go to a style section and select the white color, so that we have same color. Here we also have a border which we can go in a styling and, disable. So now we have this. If you want to give some shadow, you can enable like that, but this is something we don't want at this moment. And suppose you are doing it for a bank. I'm just giving one example for educational purpose. I'm just using this slide scope logo. So but if you are doing it for a bank, you can, put their logo or something that represents that particular bank or institution for which you are doing this project. Here you can see styling. We can use fit or fill here, I think, which will be better. So we can increase the size and fit it like that. Enough with the cosmetics right now. We will select the shape, go to format and go to send to back, so that when we will put filters over here, those filters are properly aligned. We can leave a little space here. From top also, if we want, we can leave. Now we have our initial part of our data set is ready. Initial part of our dashboard is ready, and we can start putting our visuals now. Make sure you save everything. So in bank customer data, we will save it as EDA bank churn analysis. This is being saved as a PBIX file, and we can share this file with others. Let me see what is issue here. Now after we have saved everything, we first have to see what is our target field, and we have to see the effect of different type of numerical fields on our target field. So exited is the target field here, and here you can see the target variable, whether the customer has churned yes or no. So first of all, we will build some KPIs, is, some small cards here, just to see how many customers do we have, what is the average credit score, what is the average age, average tenure, etc. And in order to do that, we will create some card visuals here. So first we will create a simple card visual, because we have to put 6 or 7 different card visuals here, so we will simply create a smaller cards here. And here in first page, first we will bring age. Let's start from beginning. So what is average age of customers? So here it is given as 38.92, and in call out value we will use only 25 as the call out value. One thing that we will do is we will make it bold, and color we can select from our theme, and for category label we can select another color and we can make it bold. So this is average of age, and we can go to field setting and rename for this visual as average age. Okay, just writing in short so that we can put more visuals here. This is average age. Now we will create one copy of it, put it here. The second field is balance. What is the average balance of customers? Because once we are going to add more filters here, then we will be able to see effect of those filters on these different type of KPIs. So this will be average, and we are going to use, or if you want to see how much money do we have in the bank, so you can use sum also. But here we are just trying to see average balance. What is their average balance? Can be considered when they leave the organization, like leave the bank. So here we will simply rename for this visual as average balance, and let me rename it properly. Sorry if the noise is coming from behind, some construction work is going on. Now we will select one more time, and I'm just selecting Control C and Control V, copy and pasting. So we have average balance. Similarly, we will also see what is average credit score. So just drag credit score here, and what is the average credit score, and we will simply rename it. So average credit score. Average credit score is 650.53, which is good here. And now after average credit score, we can also see estimated salary. We also have customer ID from which we can count, like if we do count distinct, how many distinct customers are there. So from customer ID we will be able to select that. So count distinct. There are total distinct 10,000 customer IDs. So we will rename it as hashtag customers. Simply number of customers, 10,000 are there. We will again copy one more time, and here we have estimated salary. So average salary, we can write it here like average salary. We can also write estimate in bracket. Now I am going to do one more thing. Since we have many other values, I will simply copy this entire row and paste it here, and here I am going to create more variations. Now here we are going to see the most important value, exited. Like sum of exited will tell us that there are total of 10,000 customers and 2,000 of them are exited. We will rename it as total exited, or whatever you want to write here. Similarly here we will create HasCrCard. So if the value is given at 0 and 1, and you have to actually calculate the count, so you can simply sum them, right? So we will go with sum of cards, and before that we have HasCrCard. So how many of them have card? So we will just write HasCrCard. Sum of HasCrCard is actually going to be 7055. These many people have card. Okay, hashtag have card has credit card basically. And now we will see is a active member, how many of them is active. So we will write is active. With hashtag we mean count of is active, so we will write it here. And here we are going to put number of products, like how many products do we have. we, like on an average total we have 15,000 product, but we want to see on an average. So on an average, one customer has 1.5 product. Like they can have two more than one type of accounts. So we can say average of products, average number of products, and which is 1.53. And finally we have tenure. So actually I will bring tenure here, the average number of years, so average tenure, obviously this is in years, average tenure 50k, yeah, 5.01 will be. So this is average tenure per person. Why I have put 10,000 here, number of customers? Because here we can see actually all the numbers are in one row just for this guy over here, like average number of product. So you can also, conceptualize like that. But this is our simple, set of KPIs which can be very helpful for seeing different type of data, right? And now what we are going to do, these are all numerical data that we have. Next thing is we will start creating some filters. For filters we will create a slicer, and here we will put this slicer. In the slicer we will put a field. First categorical field is gender. The gender can be either female, male. So here, since only two values are there, so we can go to slicer setting and show it as a tile, right? You can select female, you can select male. Just showing you different type of options. This thing over here is header of the slicer. So we can increase its size, make it bold. These type of things can be done from it. You can see, since we have less space over here, even if we are increasing the size, it is not getting affected. So I'm just going to disable it. In general I will enable the title, and here I will put gender as the title and align it in center, make it bold, and choose a different type of color. Okay, now for our slicer we will go to effect and enable a visual border, so that we have this. Or if you don't want to enable the visual border, you can do one thing, you can enable a shadow. Okay, so we have the shadow enabled. So this is one slicer. Similarly you can create others. So we will just copy this, paste it here. Here the other categorical field, that is geography or the location of these customers. Since here we can have more values, so we will go to slicer setting and show it as a drop down. When you will select, you will be able to see France, Germany, Spain. Actually we have three of them, so we can keep it as a tile as well, but let's keep it like this. The only thing that we have to do is and make sure we have the correct titles for our slicer. Now let's say we select Spain. So you can see average age, average balance in Spain, average credit score, average tenure, etc. in Spain. And in Spain 413 exited. In Germany you have different value, and in France you have something close to what you have in Germany. So this way actually you will be able to see, data for different countries. You can also combine like male in Spain, right? So this way you can apply two conditions. So that's why it is important. And then if you want, you can use the surname also, but that will not be needed here in this case. Since we have only two filters to apply here, or if you want to apply something more like balance wise or age wise, you can do that. But since we have only two of them, so what I am doing, I am selecting the filter. In filter you will expand values, where we can select a background color. Now font color, we can make it bold, increase the size, and here we can make it, select a different color, for example like this. Okay, similarly here we can select the same setting, So we will select some font color like this, make it bold. Since we have less space, so increasing the size will not change here. And background, let's say for gender we want to use a different color, so you can select a different color. Let's say we are going with this color. This is just an example that you can use different colors for these style backgrounds, and whatever value will be selected will appear in a different color, in the dark black color. Okay, so this is these are all the filters. Now we have to see a lot of other things. So the first thing that we are going to see is gender wise how many customers have exited. Okay, so here you have exited information which is either 0 or 1. If you will actually sum them, so you will be able to see number of exited, okay, which we have done here. So first we will create a donut chart here, and we will try to put it in the small space that we have kept here, and here we are going to use the height like this. And now here in the categorical field, the first thing that you have to bring is legend, and legend is something which can be a categorical field. So the categorical field that we are bringing here is gender, and in values we will bring is exited. So where do we have that? There is this sum of exited. So you will be able to see that 55.92 percentage of female have exited, like 1139, and 898 out of those customers who have exited more are female, and 44% are male. So this is one thing. That's why if you are creating a model to predict if the customer will exit or not, so this is an important parameter to consider, gender. And here is the title which is given as sum of exited by gender. So we can go to general tab and change the title, and we can write it like exited by gender, and here we can select a title. So we are selecting this as a title, making it bold, align center. Exited customers by gender. So here we have this exited customer information. Now we also have geography information. So for geography information, like we have 3 different geographies. So because these are country names, we can also use a field map. I'm just showing you, like we can select this, and here what we can do, we can, for location we have to bring the geography column, and here in tool tips, okay, because you can see these 3 countries are selected here. So in tool tips we will bring exited, like sum of exited. So now you will be able to see in Europe 814, France 810, Spain 413. This is one way of displaying, but the color that we are seeing here are same, right? So you can go to format your visual, where you will see fill color option, where you can go to function setting. Instead of rule you can select gradient, and you can select, if the value is lower you can select with lighter shade of blue, and if the value is higher you can select a darker shade of blue. So this way a gradient effect will be created. You can see here in Germany, France is highest, so it is selected like this. So which is weird, because actually it is not highest, because yeah, because we have done with count of geography. So we will write exited sum. Okay, so you also have to provide which field you have to select as that criteria. Now you can see, so since we have only 2 values, we can see it like this, but if there are more number of countries, so that will be, this type of graph will be helpful there. So this is one way of showing that. And here we have map settings, we have controls, we can show zoom buttons. Okay, like we can zoom it like this, and we can also, everything else can be kept like this. Auto zoom can be enabled or disabled. So when data will load, you know, auto zoom will be enabled or disabled, or auto zoom will not be there, so you can zoom it like that. We can copy the styling here and apply here, so that it will be applied here as well. Gradient is gone, so let me just fix it quickly. I should have done that before applying that, but it's okay. I will select exited sum, and I will select this color. Now when a column like age is given and we have to see distribution of age, like how many customers are there in each age group, and whether age group has anything to do, or age range has anything to do with the churn of customers. So you can see minimum age is 18 and maximum is 92. So first we have to create age bins in order to create the histogram. So for that, click on these three dots, click on new group, and here you can see age bin size is 1. That means we are grouping customers on the basis of 1 year age group. We will write 10 here. So that means now we will have groups from 18 to 28, 28 to 38, 38 to 48, and so on. So this new age bins column will be created. Now we will use a stacked column chart. You can also use the clustered for this purpose. In a stacked column chart, and we can also use 100% stacked. I will show the use of that as well. Like if you want to see whether a particular group has more churn ratio than other. So first of all, we'll copy the formatting here. In x-axis, we will create the age or drag the age bins. Okay, now they are dragged. On y-axis, we have to bring total number of customers. So total number of customers that we have is in customer ID. So we will bring count of customer ID or count distinct customer ID, one and the same thing here. So now you can see between the age group, the age bin 10, age bin 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and so on. So we have different age groups here. What this is showing is sum of exited as a gradient. Okay, what we can do, like because gradient is being shown here, first of all we can disable or enable the legend here, because we copied this. That's why it is showing like that. So what I am going to do, I am just creating it one more time, and this time I will not copy anything because I want to show you from fresh start what will happen here. So let me just remove this. I will modify the settings later. Now here, age bin, on y-axis number of customers. So you can see customer ID, count of customer ID. Since we have selected a stack chart, we have a legend value. What is the target field here? It is the customer exited or not. So in legend, what we can bring, exited. Now the exited will behave as a categorical thing, although it's a number. So now you can see count of customer ID here. So you can see here in the age bin of 40, we have 806 people, and you can see they are exited, and 1812 are remaining, right? So this way, in every age group you can see how many people have exited. Here we have 0 exited, here we have 1471 0 exited, and exited 1, that means exited is 121. So in different age group, this is what you can do. If you have to see this value in terms of percentage value, you can select 100% stack, and then you will be able to see actually here the ratio is 56.04%. If you want to show this number also, so you can enable it as a data limit. You can see 56.04% is exited in bin of 50, like somewhere between 50 to 60, right? And you can see no no person has exited in the age bin of 90 range. None of them has exited in the age group of 10 to 20. So this way you will be able to see this percentage value also. So this is basically distribution of age and exited customers, right? We can write the title like percentage of exited customers, etc. But this can be done. So now we will align it in center and choose the same text color and make it bold. So this is important thing here. So now we have bank customer churn analysis going on. There we have, and we can see like in France what is happening, in Germany you can see what is happening, right? In Spain what is happening. So you can see in case of Spain what age group is there, you know. So for every country it can be a different value. In France we have people from more diverse age range than in Spain or in Germany, right? So that's why the difference is there, and that's why this type of data sets can be very useful to see or analyze data on the basis of different demography. So this is how you can do it for age group. Next thing is we also have number of products. So you can see number of products are either 1, 2, 3 or 4. Okay. Next, we can also try to figure out if number of products have some effect on exit of customers or not. Like if people who have less number of product, they are more likely to get exited or vice versa. So first of all, we can, let's go with a clustered bar chart first of all. I will keep its height like this. And in the clustered bar chart on y-axis, I will bring number of products, and on x-axis I will bring exited. Okay, so you can see here people who have one product, there they are more likely to exit, right? People who have four product, only 60 of them are here. So this is an important thing here. Now we can alter this analysis a little bit by bringing total number of customers also. Like number of products we have kept on y-axis, and customer ID we can bring as total number of customers, right? So we can also increase it like this just to visualize. Later we can adjust it. And here we can see legend value here as well, and you know legend is a categorical thing. So exited 0 or 1 is that for us. And now it's a clustered chart, so we will be able to see two different clusters. That is the difference between cluster and stacked. Okay, so here you can see customer churn by number of products, and here this legend will create these two clusters. So the one cluster representing people who have exited 1.4k, and people who have not 3.7k when they have bought one product. If they had bought two product, then you can see the ratio. In case of three product, you can see more customers have actually exited, and people with four product, you can see all of them have exited. Another important parameter or visual will be to see out of total number of customers that we have, how many of them have exited and how many of them are not. So here you can see we have created a simple tree map. This is one way of showing that data. In the tree map, in the category we have selected exited, and in values we have selected count of customer ID. So for exited 0, count of customer ID is 7963, and exited 2037, which will tell you the same information that you are seeing here, but here you will see it as a ratio. Same thing, you can do it like this also. And here you can see a difference between this graph and this graph, because in this particular graph you will see count of customer ID is added as values and exited is used as a legend here. We can very easily replace it with a pie chart just for variety. As we have created a bin for age, we can also create a bin for balance. So it will group people with low balance, medium balance, high balance, etc. We will create a new group here. Here you can see the bin size is 5703. Instead of size of bins, we will select number of bins. We want to distribute these people in 5 equal bins, which can be low, high, medium, something like that. It can be low, average, high, medium, very high, balance. And when bin count is 5, you can see bin size will become 50,179.618 per customer. So we have these 5 bins. Now let's see what is the distribution look like. So here we will add this chart. First of all, we will format the printer. In x-axis we will bring the balance, and on y-axis we will bring count of customers. So here we will bring the count of customers. So you can see number of customers who have balance between 0 to 56,000 are 3692. Then 50k above is 1533, and you can see these people. So either we have in the 0 bin or we have in the 100k bin. Most number of people are there in the 100k bin. Now what is the ratio of customers that are exited to non-exited? Here we can bring that in legend, and here we will simply bring exited, and then you will be able to see those counts. So number of people who exited versus number of people who are remaining in the bank, or they have the account in the bank, we can see here. So this is a simple exploratory data analysis that can help you in understanding what factors are responsible for bank customer churn. Please watch other videos in our series so you will get more hands-on practice on Power BI. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day.